Have you ever recited the Lord's Prayer and wondered if there's more to it than just the words on the surface? It's arguably the most famous prayer in the world, repeated by billions. But what if I told you it's not just a beautiful piece of prose? What if it's a spiritual roadmap, a divine blueprint packed with hidden meanings, ancient mysteries, and powerful truths that most of us miss entirely? Today, we're going on a journey to unlock the secret spiritual depth of the Lord's Prayer. We're going to peel back the layers, one line at a time, and I promise you'll never see these familiar words the same way again. Let's start at the very beginning with two simple words, Our Father. This sounds comforting, but in Jesus' time it was revolutionary. First, notice the word our, not my. From the outset, Jesus establishes a community. This isn't a private prayer just for you. It's a prayer that connects you to a vast, shared spiritual family of believers. It immediately dissolves loneliness and individualism, reminding us that we're all in this together. But the real shocker was the word Father. In ancient Jewish culture, addressing God with such intimacy was almost unheard of. It broke cultural and religious norms. It was like walking up to a king and calling him Dad. This wasn't just a title. It was a declaration of a new kind of relationship, one of deep, personal connection, love, and inheritance. Jesus was revealing a mystery. God isn't a distant, unapproachable deity. He is a loving parent. Next, hallowed be thy name. We often gloss over this, thinking it just means your name is holy, but it's so much more. The verb hallow means to set apart, to treat as sacred and powerful. In ancient Hebrew thought, a name wasn't just a label. It represented a person's entire essence, their character, their authority, their power, their reputation. So, when you pray, hallowed be thy name, you are not just praising God, you are making a powerful declaration. You are asking for God's true nature, his reputation for justice, mercy, and power to be recognized and glorified right here on earth, in your life, in your community, and across the world. It's a petition for the world to see God for who he truly is. Then we get to thy kingdom come. This phrase is often misunderstood as a simple wish for the end of the world or for heaven after we die. But it's actually about two dimensions of God's kingdom. Yes, it points to a future hope, the ultimate restoration of all things when God's reign is fully established. But it's also a prayer for the present. It's a radical request to bring the reality of heaven into our earthly world right now. Think about what defines heaven: perfect justice, unconditional love, complete peace, miraculous healing, and total restoration. Praying thy kingdom come is actively inviting those heavenly realities to invade our broken world. It's asking God to manifest his rule in our hearts, our homes, our governments, and our societies today. It's a prayer for heaven on earth. This leads perfectly into the next line, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. This is the practical application of the previous line. It sets up a powerful contrast. Heaven is the blueprint, the perfect model of order, harmony, and purpose. Earth, by comparison, is often filled with chaos, conflict, and confusion. This prayer is an act of surrendering our own chaotic will and aligning ourselves with God's perfect design. It's a profound statement that says, God, your way is better than my way. But it's not passive. It's an invitation for us to become active participants in bringing about God's will. It transforms us from people who just ask God for favors into collaborators who partner with God in his mission of restoring the world. Now we shift from the divine to the human, starting with give us this day our daily bread. This seems straightforward, but it holds one of the biggest mysteries in the entire prayer. The Greek word used for daily epousios is a linguistic puzzle. It appears almost nowhere else in ancient Greek literature, and scholars have debated its meaning for centuries. On one level, it's absolutely about our physical needs. It's a prayer for literal food, for provision, for just enough to get through today. This teaches us profound dependence on God, not for a lifetime supply, but for today's portion, trusting that he will provide again tomorrow. But many theologians believe it goes deeper. Jesus called himself the bread of life, so this is also a prayer for spiritual nourishment. Some early Christians even interpreted this as a reference to the Eucharist or Holy Communion. It's a multi-layered request for everything that sustains us physically, spiritually, and emotionally. Next, we encounter a spiritual law, and forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors, some translations say trespasses. The core meaning is the same. This is perhaps the most challenging and convicting line in the prayer. Notice the structure. It's reciprocal. Jesus directly links our experience of receiving God's forgiveness to our willingness to extend forgiveness to others. This isn't about earning God's mercy. It's about revealing a spiritual principle. An unforgiving heart becomes a blocked channel. Holding on to bitterness and resentment hardens us and spiritually isolates us, making it difficult to fully receive the grace that God is freely offering. Forgiveness isn't just a nice idea. It's a spiritual discipline that unlocks our own freedom. Jesus makes it a condition, showing us that mercy must flow both ways. Then comes a line that has confused many, and lead us not into temptation. This can sound strange. Why would we need to ask God not to tempt us when the Bible clearly states that God tempts no one? The key is understanding this as a Hebrew idiom in the original language and cultural context. This phrase doesn't imply that God is the source of temptation. A better translation of the sentiment would be, "Do not let us enter a trial or a period of testing that would be too great for us to bear. Protect us when we are vulnerable." It's a prayer for spiritual protection and guidance. It's an admission of our own weakness and a humble request for God to steer us away from situations that could lead to our spiritual downfall. It's not a prayer of distrust in God, but a prayer of deep trust in His protection. This leads to the final petition, "But deliver us from evil." The original Greek here is ambiguous. It can be translated as "deliver us from evil" in a general sense, from suffering, from sin, from corruption. Or it can be translated as "deliver us from the evil one," meaning Satan. Most scholars agree it likely encompasses both. This single line acknowledges the reality of cosmic conflict. It affirms that evil is not just an abstract concept. It is a real force in the world, both internal and external. But it's not a prayer of fear. It's a declaration of faith. By asking God for deliverance, we are acknowledging that while evil is real, God's power is infinitely greater. It's a confident plea for rescue from a God who is both willing and able to save. Finally, many versions of the prayer end with a powerful declaration of praise, a doxology: "For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen." While most scholars agree this wasn't in the earliest manuscripts of the Gospels, it was added very early on in Christian worship, showing how the first believers understood the prayer. This ending beautifully frames the entire prayer. After making our petitions, we return our focus entirely to God. It's a concluding statement that affirms God's ultimate sovereignty, His eternal power, and His unending glory. It transforms the prayer from a list of requests into a profound act of worship, reminding us that everything begins and ends with God. Did you ever notice the structure itself is a hidden message? Scholars have pointed out a divine pattern. The prayer begins with 3 God-focused petitions. "Hallowed be your name," "Your kingdom come," "Your will be done." Then it shifts to 3 human-focused petitions. "Give us our bread," "Forgive us our debts," and "Deliver us from evil." This structure beautifully mirrors the 10 Commandments, where the first commandments deal with our relationship with God, and the latter commandments deal with our relationships with each other. The Lord's Prayer is a miniature model of the entire biblical narrative. It starts with God, moves to humanity and our needs, and points toward redemption and restoration. So, what is the ultimate hidden message? The Lord's Prayer is not just a prayer to be recited. It's a complete roadmap for the spiritual life. It's a compressed summary of the entire Christian faith in about 66 words. It teaches us our true identity as children of God. It calls us to worship. It gives us our mission to bring heaven to earth. It demands our surrender to God's will. It reminds us of our daily dependence on Him. It commands us to practice mercy, and it assures us of His constant protection. It's a formula for transformation. The next time you pray these words, don't just rush through them, pause on each line. Remember the revolutionary intimacy of our Father. Feel the power in "Hallowed be thy name." Embrace the mission of "Thy kingdom come." Surrender to "Thy will be done." Rest in the dependence of daily bread. Unlock your heart with "Forgive as we forgive," and find peace in the promise of "Deliver us from evil." You're not just saying words. You are aligning your entire being with the very heart of God.